This is Access Door County, and I am your host, Victoria Cerenich. On today's program, we will introduce the Door Association for Home and Community Education, or HCE for short, and learn how the HCE helps build our community together for tomorrow. Today's guests are Teri Madden of Egg Harbor and Little Bit LeClair, a resident of Jacksonport and president of HCE. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you please describe the HCE and the history for us?
HCE is probably, it's over 50 years old. We have a lot of our members have celebrated their 50th year of membership in the club. It was started
1963 maybe?
Oh, no. Post-World War II.
Post-World War II, so it's been
pre-
around for
pre.
quite a long time.
Yes.
And why did it get started?
It was a means of getting the women who were home together to learn new methods of cooking, maybe sewing, knitting, crocheting, a way of instruction, to learn, especially young mothers.
Passing on that information that sometimes is pretty hard to find if everybody is just too busy. And maybe your mother knew how to cook but didn't sew.
Correct.
And you needed to do both.
Right. It was a way for neighborhoods to get together. The farmers, the farm ladies, they would maybe have an afternoon, bring the kids together and just learn a project that they could all go home and and use.
And use. They had, I have some ladies who were in homemakers eons ago, and I have a wood floor in one of my cottages, and they brought me a recipe on how to refinish the wood floor, and they got it out of the Ripples magazine.
And they called it a recipe.
It was a recipe, and it was linseed oil and varnish and one other, there were two recipes, and one was the linseed oil and varnish, and then there was a third item, and I do not recall what that
Well, and this is
ingredient was.
because this was before the day you just went to the store and picked it up, or you called somebody on the phone to do it. Door County's a little bit out of the way. Maybe 50, 60 years ago, it wasn't so easy to get these things done for you. So we had to come up with ways to do it ourselves.
You came up with the ways, and when HC started, Homemaker started, you had rationing from the wars, and they had to learn how, I wanted to know how to can, and I would have probably gone to one of these meetings at somebody's home and learned how to can.
Now, is canning still part of what HCE offers?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. Yes. Actually,
Yes.
Pam Peterson has done some programs on canning.
Through
I
the
think
extension.
for a couple of years she's done it and has had very good turnout.
Now, was Homemakers originally part of the UW extension system, or has it been brought into the fold? Because I know that's where you can contact them now.
On this history that we have, the Door County Homemaker Council was organized in 1944, and it has a
And
list.
you've
and
got
it's
this
normally
copy?
worked through the extension office because it has a list of the past presidents and the agents.
And they were as early as 46, so it's been involved with the university for quite a while. And this history is available for someone if they'd like to read it?
Absolutely, it's on the webpage.
It's on the webpage, and that would be the webpage of the University Extension System?
Yes, yes.
And so if someone wanted to know more about it, they would go to the University of Wisconsin Extension System for Door County, and they would look for the community programs or the HCE or
HCE.
the HCE. That's great. Or they could call on the phone, and if they wanted to, I'm sure they could go and pick the history up.
Yes.
But in addition to learning about the history, what types of education or training or lessons is HCE providing today? I know you have a bookworms program.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. We are a volunteer
Organization.
that just we do a lot of fundraising. We
Okay.
have we've always done that.
Well, tell me about a recent fundraiser.
The recent fundraisers we've done are we've done Stitches of Love, for, well, it's not actually a fundraiser, but we've done projects.
Well, that's
for-
okay. Tell me about Stitches of Love. It
Yes.
sounds really interesting. We've got Valentine's Day every year.
Exactly. But we did hats for a number of years. We would sew hats or knit or crochet with soft fabric and donate them to the Cancer Society.
Oh, for
Yeah,
all
to the
those
hospital.
cancer patients that might need a
Exactly.
little extra covering because it's that chemo can be tough on the hair.
Exactly.
And how do you teach your volunteers how to sew and that as part of the
Definitely.
Stitches for Love?
Anybody that's interested can come to those meetings.
And
there's something
we've had
for
craft
everyone.
workshops where we've done that. When we did a huge Stitches of Love program, we went up to St. John's Church, St. John the Baptist Church in Egg Harbor, and 3 or 4 of us ladies brought our sewing machines, and so you had some ladies sew and some ladies can cut and measure and whatever. So we had a little production line going. So we would work on that, and that was with. B. Ehlers was big on that, and Teri started that program, and I used to belong to Lakeside Ladies in Jacksonport, and we did a different project where we took old towels, old bath towels, and made adult bibs to take to the Scandia or
Sure, anywhere where it might
they
it
would
might
need
be
it.
handy.
And we made lap
Yeah.
robes for people
I
in
always
wheelchairs.
need an adult bib when I'm eating spaghetti sauce. I mean, absolutely. So, and that's part of what, as president, you are responsible for getting some of this organization together, I would think.
Well, some of it,
Well.
yes. This is my first term, so this is my first month as president, so.
Well,
Oh, thank you,
congratulations. So now you will be responsible for it, and we will all help
Yes.
by volunteering.
I would appreciate that greatly. It's going to be an interesting, and I've been writing down ideas and different things I would like to do, and working with Pam Peterson from the Extension Office has been a great benefit to me, and Teri has been a past president, and so, with the experience that they have and can share, and
We've got good energy.
good
I think
energy.
we work
And,
together.
June
and-
Michael, who is here in spirit and couldn't make it out on this cold day. There's different things that I'm hoping to direct the club into getting into some new areas and get some new energy.
Can you share that with us?
Well,
or-
I
or
don't
did
have all
you
my
wanna-
notes. No, I don't have all.
Oh, no worries. Then let's talk about one of the things you did last year. One of the projects, Teri.
Well, one of our major projects is our bookworms program.
Okay.
And it is, it's actually in partnership with Wisconsin Public Television and the UW Extension Family Living programs, education. They provide the leadership for funding, and they coordinate the sites and volunteer recruitment, you might say.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons that I thought having both of you here, and actually June Michael, was because I heard about the Bookworms program when I was at the county fair last summer. June is quite the promoter of the
She is.
HCE
Yes, she is.
and the Bookworms program. And so as I was showing our viewers, she handed me this little handout with this cute little animal on it, or insect, or
Worm. Bookworm.
and said, you've got to participate in this. And I thought, well, one of the ways I can participate is helping people to know about it. So what do you do in the Bookworms program?
We actually go into 3 sites in the Door County area and read to the 4-year-olds in preschools. We go to the Head Start program in Sturgeon Bay, Door County Child Care Center, and then also the Northern Door Child Care Center.
Well, that's true. And do you have specific books? Is that why the partnership
We do.
and the fundraising?
We have 8 books that we read to the children during the school year. We go up once a month, and there's usually 2 or 3 people that participate, that volunteer to read. And we take the book and we actually read it to the kids. It's kind of very fun. I mean, this
love
is
it.
the way I feel. It's just kind of goofy. The illustrations are just
And
wonderful.
these are 3 and 4-year-olds?
3 and 4-year-olds, yep. we'll read it, we'll ask them questions, we'll do some fun things.
They have the work,
And it
the
comes with
worksheets?
that, yep, there's an activity sheet that if there's time, if the teachers will allow us to do it, we can do the activity with them. And then, what's very special is they're able to take the book home with them.
Oh.
And they'll read it to their siblings, or have mom read it, and, it'll just go
It
down.
helps them bond with reading, which is so
Exactly.
important for
And it shows
for
all
learning.
their feelings. I mean, we have a big smelly bear, the snowy day.
That would be
These are
popular.
great, yes. In a small, small pond, yes. And how do we hug a porcupine? Isn't that
Oh,
cute?
that might be tough.
But they're fun books, and the kids love them. They look forward to, most of these ladies, they're older, so,
It's
they
like the
call them
grandmothers.
grandmas.
The grandmas, the grandmas are coming to read today.
Sure,
Yes.
the grandmas.
They look forward to it.
So if someone wants to volunteer to do just that program, what would be the steps they would take to contact you, and what training would they get?
It's, we have these brochures. They could go to the UW Extension and just ask or call.
Okay,
The-
and say they want to volunteer for the Bookworms program.
Exactly.
And
they'd
Then
like to
what
read.
would happen? Would they have to meet is there a specific day of the month you would meet to give them some training so they'd know what to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
They, we explain to them what the book is, how to deal with the kids.
Oh, okay.
So
So
the
you would
teachers
arrange
are very
you
good.
would arrange a meeting with your volunteers in a group or individually, depending
Mm-hmm.
on how many. And then you would present, this is what we do, and show them how to do it.
Yeah.
And it only takes, probably 15 minutes and you're finished.
Normally you drive longer than,
Is part of the organization is arranging those dates when you will read to the children? Because I imagine the day school or the preschool will want to
They
have some
want to know
advance
ahead of
notice.
time.
Yes.
You bet.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
and then if you have a weather day like this, you have to reschedule.
Sure.
And we used to have, when we were we had our Jacksonport Club, we had a specific day and time in the morning that we'd drive up there once a month and read. And you'd get your books from the extension office, and you go up there and read to the children, leave the activity sheets. If you couldn't get time to work with them, they'd go home. One of the projects that our club did in Egg Harbor, where the Harborettes was, we made book bags for all the kids, and we made
Oh, I think it
100?
was, yeah.
at least 100.
Yeah, it was
Terry
over
got
100.
this fabric samples, and we brought our sewing machines to Terry's house, and we sat down, and some ladies cut and some ladies sewed, and we
Oh, God.
made
It was
up.
a great project.
It was a good
yeah.
project, and so all those little kids, when the ladies would go up to the read, would get a book bag, so they'd have a book bag to carry their books home in.
So how did these volunteers, we know they contact through the UW Extension, and then you have a phone call, or you send them an email or something, and you say, we're going to make book bags over at Terry's house?
We did this as a club
Right.
project.
Oh, okay.
As our club project. And
Right.
then we had made so many, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that we gave some to the Head Start ladies to give, because
Right.
So
every
if you-
year there's a new group of 4-year-olds coming through, so you can
Sure.
always make the bags.
So as a club project, and you mean the HCE club?
This was there's 8 clubs in HCE,
Oh,
Door County.
okay.
in Door County. So they're scattered throughout the county in Southern Door, Northern Door, and Sturgeon Bay. And each club picks their own pet projects or works on things. And
right.
Teri being Bookworms coordinator, and she was given this fabric, did a little brainstorming, made up this bag and showed it to us, and we're going, well, yeah, we're in. This is easy, because I always say we're a do-gooder club, because we're a service organization, and we're supposed to go out and, in my mind, help the community in ways that we can.
Sure, that's what it says, build
learn.
our community together for tomorrow.
Yes.
This, the Bookworms program is, very costly, when we're constantly looking for ways to make money. And if anybody wants to sponsor children, we're always looking for that too. It costs about $26 per child.
Per child. Per
For
year.
the 8 books.
for an 8-book series.
8-book series,
Okay.
yes.
And typically, how many children, do you know how many children you might reach?
We read, the last few years, we've read over 80 children
Okay.
in
So
the
that-
3 sites.
And that's 80 children a year?
Yes.
So that's 80
Yes.
children a year times 26. So that gives people an idea of the kind of funds that are necessary to support this.
Exactly.
Now, you've done some fundraisers. I think we mentioned it a little earlier, but we're going to circle back. Do you cook and sell cookies? I mean, that's always popular, or
We
hot
did.
chocolate on a
Years
cold
ago,
day?
that's
No,
what
we
we
did.
did.
We did. When I first started, had joined HC 15 years ago, they had just started the bookworms, and we had a scholarship fund, and then we had to start with the bookworms fund. And I can remember at Jacksonport, we would go to the town hall and bring in all of our ingredients, and we would have a day of baking. And then each club was responsible for, I don't know how many dozen cookies, and you brought them into Sturgeon Bay on the day of the Christmas walk, the big Christmas parade, and we had to go around and sell those. And you'd be standing by Harmon's trying to sell cookies, and we might have started with hot chocolate or
And walk down the street.
So
walk
you're
down the
walking
street with a box of cookies.
With a
trying to
box of cookies trying to sell, you want to sell, this reminds me of the parochial school, the children carrying the box of chocolates, I gotta sell my chocolates for the school.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was,
Except the adults are doing it here.
and I'm not sure, then B. Ehlers was one of the big
Proponents or advocates?
advocates, yes, of bookworms. And then Yonkers started their community days.
Yes.
So then we got into doing that, and we'd have to sign up for so many hours to sit there and man
The table where,
tables.
at Yonkers, and for
Yes.
people that don't know that, you want to explain what the
Yes.
community days is?
Oh,
They sell a little
There were
book,
certain
book
coupons,
pod,
they were-
right?
yes,
A
they were-
coupon.
a
I
coupon
think
book.
twice a year they
Twice, yes.
have these sales.
And a certain percentage went into all of the different groups that
So
were
it-
nonprofit groups.
Okay.
And you had to go and work and sell the tickets, sell the,
Oh, so you were the person at the
The
door.
coupons.
When I'd go in on a sale day, on one of those coupon days, there's someone sitting at a table
Yes.
sort of like this, and
Yes.
they've got the coupon book. And I'd
Yes.
buy the coupon books for $5 or $10, and the coupon book would be worth as much as the money I just gave you.
yes.
And that money would go to the organization.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ah,
The other thing we started in recent years are the brat fries
ooh.
at Econo. And we've also.
Oh, that outdoor, in the
The
parking
outdoor
lot?
parking, yes.
Okay, so we would see this up at the
Yeah,
HCE
we've had our-
logo
I think
up
We had
there?
our flag up there.
Sure.
I've never worked, I've only worked one. And I did not work at Econo, I worked one at Welsing's,
Okay.
because they have the brat fries up there also. So, and that's, like, you get
That's
50%.
good profit,
It's a
yes.
good profit.
And Econo likes doing those things. You
Yes,
see
they
them
do,
up at
yes.
the, outside all the,
And
we
there's-
won't see them in the winter, but.
No, and
in
there's,
other parts.
there's a core of people that work that Econo one that have been just, you know,
They've been
the
very
backbone.
helpful.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There's been a core of husbands and wives, and, or the wives with their husbands helping them do the grilling, and very fortunate to have that group and that strength and endurance to do it.
So are there any date or time-specific things that we need to tell our viewers that at certain times of the year you're looking for volunteers to sign up?
We're always
We're always
looking for new members.
New members, new members, yes. Trying to get new members to teach, to instruct, to share gifts and talents. There's so much out there to learn, and so few people left to teach some of these skills, some of these heritage skills, be it knitting or crocheting or tatting or harding. I'm more into the crafty things, but.
And it's an older organization. These ladies that are involved, they're getting up there in years, and we
Yes.
need young gals that want to come together and just do a monthly meeting.
Monthly
Just
we-
meet for a couple hours. And
Yes, we do a dinner every time we meet. We do a luncheon or a dinner at.
For our
whoever-
club.
For our specific Egg Harbor Club.
For the,
And-
okay, for the Egg Harbor Club that's
Yes.
part of the HCE.
Yes, so the fellowship is very strong. it's such an opportunity to learn. When I was a young mother and had just moved back to Door County, I wanted to learn some skills. I wanted more skills in bread making and different areas, and I wanted to learn strudel. When I was first married, I looked in my cookbook and said, well, what do you do with a tablecloth? And I thought, I couldn't fathom. We had a lady in our club, Catherine Miller, she was a wonderful person, and I was so glad I met her, and she was in Jacksonport, and she did a strudel demonstration at her home. And you'd take the table, and you would snap, and it would roll.
Flip it.
And flip it, and roll with all the filling in it. And I thought, that's why you need a tablecloth. But
In a recipe, yeah.
Yes.
There's in your list of ingredients, and you had the tablecloth, and you're
I
like,
couldn't-
I don't know how I'm going to chew that.
I
Yes.
couldn't figure it out. And I'm so visual that I needed that demonstration. And she would do these demonstrations at the courthouse, at the old courthouse in the room with
Government building.
the government building out with the kitchen. And everybody showed up for Bee's demonstrations, be it on canning or strudel making or knitting. She was a wealth of information and had such a gift for sharing her talents.
So we don't want to lose some of these
No.
these talents and some
Exactly.
of these abilities, and we want to make sure the next generation knows how to do it. And it's one thing to watch the YouTube, and we all love YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you viewers. But it's
Yes.
another thing to be there and do it hands-on.
Well, and I think what's going to happen in this, yes, they all have YouTube, but when you watch and observe people now, they all have their phones, and you're not going to learn anything unless they stick their phones in a basket at the door so they can actually concentrate on what is being instructed and
Sure.
taught. Because,
Absolutely.
I mean, when we started home, you brought your young kids, and you had, our mothers used to coffee clutch and do all that, and the kids went from house to house to house. And you knew all your neighbors, you knew your friends, and you helped. If you were learning how to make curtains or window shades, or if you were going to make a lampshade, finish your floor, bake, there was always somebody who had that skill and that talent to teach. And this is one thing that I would like to get back into homemakers, HCE, and to make sure we don't lose that talent.
Those
Right.
talents, that knowledge doesn't
People-
disappear.
yes, people don't know their neighbors anymore.
They don't know their
This is
neighbors.
a great way to get everyone involved.
Sure. And that's one of the things we're hoping to do with Access Door County, is to try and reintroduce these subjects that are part of our community, using a bit of modern technology to tell people about the things that they don't want to forget.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so we're hoping that we can reach a lot of people. And if we, so HCE, or Homemakers, is the parent organization for connecting with all 8 clubs, is that correct?
Correct.
And if anyone lives in Door County, in any part of Door County, they can go to HCE at the UW Extension office via the website or the phone. And then they can ask and say, I live in Egg Harbor, is there an Egg Harbor group?
Exactly.
And they will put you in touch with the Egg Harbor group, which happens to be Teri, as well as a little bit, but
Right.
Teri's is that, and you've got the whole bunch
Well, I
now.
also have our club now, too.
Oh, and
We
you've
have
got
great
a
clubs. Yes,
Yes.
she's the president
I've
of
taken over president
the
of-
Harborettes.
of the
That's
Harborettes.
what.
Of the Harborettes,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
so you've got it all then.
Oh, this year, yes. The other thing is, we've had some new clubs form. We've had the Door County Hispanics have formed a club with Imelda DeChambray as their president, and trying to get the Hispanic community more involved. And we also have another club that was formed, and it's called Country Roses. And these are some very special girls at Sunshine House, and they had a different club called Sunflowers? Sunflowers. And they're very enthusiastic, and they enjoy having this time, and they have one young lady who is a little dynamo behind that club forming up again, because she'd been in Sunflowers and she really enjoyed that and missed that learning. And Pam Peterson has been a great benefactor to that club and as an advisor to them. I've gone and helped them a few times, and you've gone and helped them a few times, and Mary Ellen Smith has helped. And it's, we meet once a month. unless we have something that we have to meet more.
So is that the Harborettes meet once a month, or the whole parent organization?
Each club meets once a month. They have a date set.
Okay, and how would people find out what that date is and where?
Actually, Jadine Hansen at the Extension office has that list.
Oh,
So
that's
you-
wonderful.
It gives the president of the club a phone number, and it gives the day of the month. If it's the first Monday of the month or the second Tuesday of the month, each club has its own.
And where it's at.
And where it's
So-
at.
So if someone that's watching would want to get in touch and just learn a little bit more, they would call the UW Extension office and they would ask about the HCE program, and they would give their location, and they would say, can we find out where the local club is meeting?
Exactly.
And when?
Yes.
So that would be the next step for any potential volunteers, because you'd like to
Right.
get some more volunteers.
More
You've
members,
got a lot of,
absolutely.
more members, you've got a lot of good ideas. Is there any cost to a member?
There's dues. But
It's a
that's,
$15
$15.
yearly due that goes,
Okay.
part of it goes to state. part
It's
for the
pretty
county.
nominal for people that want
Yes,
to,
exactly.
that's just,
Yes.
what, $1.10 a month or
Yeah,
something? I
it's-
mean, it's nothing.
Right.
What you need is the time, somebody that's
The
able
time.
to give, at least for the monthly meeting, to find out what's going on, and then a little time to participate in one of the activities.
some of the activities, you know, I'm only more familiar with our club and what we've done. In years past, we'd gone to had a car care class for our ladies in our club, and we went up to A&M Motors up in Liberty Grove and learned on when you need to change your tires, or how much air pressure, or when to change the oils, be it the hydraulics. And we had a whole car
A little
care-
maintenance class
Yes.
for the
Yes.
basics,
For all
that you
these women.
don't have to go and spend an unknown amount of money to have someone else do it if you can check it yourself.
Yes, it was a great class. Some of the other things that we've had are living wills. We've had instruction on living wills, on how to plan a funeral.
So
There are
what you're-
craft days.
Yeah,
Craft
so,
days.
so what you're saying is HCE is a starting point for a large number of activities that are involved with your daily life.
Absolutely.
And it's a good place, if you want to start somewhere. If you have a question about something, you might start with calling HCE.
HC. And the extension office has been,
They're very supportive.
supportive, but they do so much work for us in the office.
Well, sure, because they have those clerical abilities,
They
and
do,
and they
and they
can
have
coordinate
access,
that and
yes.
standardize that and get the mailings out.
Yes, and Pam has a lot of classes that she has instructed on, on heart health, different cooking with her, the family living agent. It's just, so many things tie in with homemakers and HCE, it's the extension office. It's invaluable, the time and energy and the effort that and the support that they give our organization.
Well, we really appreciate that Pam Peterson and the UW Extension Office for supporting the home and community education. So is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we close the program for today? Anything you want to repeat?
On bookworms, how many books did Pam say that she had sent out something there? How many books that we read or had given out?
Oh,
10,000?
over the years? Yeah, this is our 15th year reading
On bookworms. And
bookworms, yep.
Well,
don't remember the count,
I'm
15,000?
It
sure.
was 10,000 books that we
Okay.
have given out, and I'm thinking 700 children? Up, 900?
Well-
1,200.
We'll keep going.
1,200
Okay.
children that we have read to in 15 years.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today at Access Store County, and also for your time with
Why, thank
the
you.
home
Thanks so
and
much for
community
having us
education.
here.
It's been a
And-
pleasure meeting you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Little Bit and Teri. And you've been watching Access Store County with your host, Victoria Cerenich, the Home and Community Education Program at the UW Extension Office. This is Access Store County, your TV channel in Sevastopol, 986. Thank you.